How's things?
Hi there.
Lovely to see you, Val. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for inviting me. I'll just switch off my phone now.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
How are you?
I
I love the acting. Very impressive. You've missed
I
the vocation.
I was trying so hard to keep it together and hide the blushing that I was doing. I can hear myself echo in there too. I think silence me. You might have lost the your phone. You can hear me.
Mine's already off.
Hit the mute button, maybe. That's weird. It's a bit of an echo.
Yeah, my phone's on airplane mode. It's not my phone. And is that all right?
Hello. I can still hear you. That's very strange. We're getting feedback. So your phone is definitely on silent or it's airplane mode, you said. Yeah. It's very weird. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Yeah. Hello. It's gone. Brilliant. Fixed. Amazing, Val. Amazing. So yeah, making fun of my acting skills. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. But no, it's important because like we do talk ourselves out of doing things all the time. We make excuses, and it's important that we do give some airtime for the excuses, but we don't lie down to them. And speaking of not lying down to excuses, you are the queen of not lying down to excuses, Val. So why don't we start right at the beginning and let us know a little bit about where you were before we met.
In a very sad dark hole. May 2022, I was over 13 stone, size 18-20 in clothes, and basically 64 years old and just preparing for old age, and old age that was not healthy, happy, or really living. So I'd sort of more or less given up on having an active life. I was sort of accepting everything, just sitting there accepting everything that was coming my way, and really just was not happy. I was not happy. So I got myself to that position, and
what was affected by it when you felt that way? Like where were you seeing that show up in your life? What situations, what scenarios?
I didn't have any plans for the future. I didn't make future plans. I was making preparation for being old and disabled. We were remodeling the house. We decided to stay put rather than downsize. And I was taking out the bath and putting in a walk-in shower. I was making arrangements that I could get one of the rooms downstairs would become a bedroom eventually. I was looking at wheelchair access. I mean, this was years ahead of it happening, but that was my mindset. That's how I was thinking, that I was just on this downhill, and it just showed up in every area of my life. You know, it's just not getting any pleasure out of anything. So it affected everything.
I didn't know that, Val. That's something you hadn't shared with me before in terms of wheelchair access. And what happens then is we start to slow down. We start to say no to more things, as in not in a good way, but in a way we miss out on things, and a way it holds us back.
Yeah, I was missing out on living. I was already planning the end of my life. I mean, it's not that I was like, I didn't have a terminal illness. I didn't have anything. I was just on this very steep downward slide mentally and physically. And I was just going to slide with it. I was just going with it. Had no fight left. Nothing. Yeah, it was, and I just, you know, just suddenly thought, I've got to do something.
What did you try in the past?
I wasn't a serial dieter. I'd been quite active and slim until my first baby in my 30s, early 30s. And then I put on a lot of weight when I was pregnant. And from then on, I was 2 sizes up than prior. So I went from a 12, I then became a size 16 as my norm. And that really just stayed with me. And, you know, people turn around and they say, oh, you don't need to lose weight. Oh, you look okay. And I was believing them, you know, it's just like, that was convenient to believe, wasn't it? You know, just, yeah, you're fine. And I still had quite an active lifestyle, so that sort of kept it going a bit. But the weight was going on because of my sort of unresolved behavior issues. I've always been able to feed myself and the family healthily. I know what I'm doing. I know what a healthy diet is, but I was doing that and then I was comfort eating. So from a very, you know, so from my 40s, I was comfort eating and binge eating, and eating a healthy life, you know, kidding myself that I knew what I was doing and I was eating healthily. But it was my pleasure. It was my comfort. It was my go-to place. Go to bed with a book and a packet of digestives. Do you know, that sort of thing? Get away from the world. Yeah.
Thank you.
So
There's so many people here who are commenting already, by the way. Jacqueline, Jack, Joe Ryle, I'm right there, Val, preparing for old age at 56. So many people. And what made you feel we could help?
I had made a start. I was going to become a grandma for the first time, and I suddenly thought it was my kick up the bum. I had to do something. I did not want my grandchild to remember me as I was and as I was going to become. So I made up my mind I was going to change something. But I had dieted previously and lost 2 stone by calorie deficit. Then I plateaued, and then I gave up a year into being on a plateau for a year. And then I put it back on again. So when I had made up my mind, I knew that I needed to calorie deficit. I knew that, but I knew there was something missing. And I just searched and searched. And I knew it was activity, but I was 64 by then. I had put on this weight. I had health issues. I had mobility issues. I was scared of how to do that. And when I spoke to you and heard about your program, of course I was skeptical. We all are. You know, it's through the internet. It's through this scary thing, you know, that comes piped into us, and we hear all the bad news about. So I was skeptical, but I listened, and I listened to what you said, and it started to excite me. I started to think there was possibilities, you know, and I thought, I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to give it a go. And I'm the sort of person that once I say I'm committed, I'm there. You know, I might take a while to come to the decision, but then I'm always 110% in. So, yeah.
What have you achieved?
What have I achieved? Well, I started doing a list earlier because I thought he's bound to ask me and I don't remember a thing. Your mind goes blank. So I did myself a list and it just went on and on and on. So I've lost 4.5 stone.
Oh my God, wow.
And I just thought I'd show you a visual of that because it's sometimes, these are my trousers from before I started.
My God. Literally 2 of you can fit in that now.
Jenny said that once and I tried, but I got stuck. I couldn't get both feet through the ankles. But that shows you where I was. And I'm now 4 dress sizes down.
4 dress sizes.
Yeah. So that was my, I mean, that's what we all start with, this dream, isn't it, of losing the weight. And it was working. So, you know, with the exercise and the walking and the guidance, the coaching. So I reached my target, my weight target that I set myself in January last year. Then I lost another stone, the stone that I was in denial about. The stone that I hadn't even challenged myself to lose, I lost that as well. And now I've maintained that for 6 months. So I've lost 73 centimeters. I'm not quite, I've approximated the bust size because we didn't do that when I started. So that's a bit of an approximation from that. But my BMI has gone from 28.6 down to 20.5. At one point, I was in the obese category. I'm now way, way down in the healthy.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. What dress did you start at?
I was 18 to 20. Those are a size 18 trouser from one of the high street brands that are very generous with their sizing. That we all know about, don't we, ladies?
And what size are you now?
I'm an 8, 10.
8 to 10.
Yeah, depending on what brands they are, you know, it's like I have actually got a 6 in my wardrobe. I think that must be just a bit of a fluke, but I'm an 8, 10. And I can't get my head around that. I've ordered something today and it's arrived, and I ordered a medium. And I'm definitely a small, but I can't get my head around it. My brain still won't accept that I've done it, that what I've achieved. Yeah, so my blood pressure medications have been cut down. I don't know if that's because I'm healthier or just I'm smaller, but it's still a bonus. I was waiting for hip replacements and I've been taken off the list. Not currently needed.
Val, like all of these wins deserve a 10-minute discussion because they're so huge.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite things that I think is going to help the majority of people watching this is that you said that you lost the stone that you didn't even commit to losing because you told yourself that you were in denial about that.
Yeah.
Because people here, and I know so many people offhand who will say, I don't want to get to a size 10. I'd look ill at a size 10, or I'd look ill at a size 12, or the same for a size 8, because we decide that we would look gaunt and unhealthy to get to a certain dress size like that.
Yeah.
If it's been done the wrong way, that can be true. But if it's done the right way, like you, who's now doing literally chin-ups, Tough Mudder, and so many other incredible things, you're a perfect example that it is doable. It is 100% doable. And everyone watching this, I want you to comment below, this is doable. This is doable. So I know this is inspiring. I have to use the word inspiring because everybody else is using it already. But if you had to give some instructional advice now as well, so 3 or 4 things to people who are either at the very beginning of their journey, haven't started yet, or who are on their journey and have wobbles from time to time, like
Well,
what advice would you give people?
the first thing I would say is there's never a right time to do this. There never is. But I've got a little secret I can share, which is 100% foolproof. And that is, I can tell you the best time to do it. And the best time is now. Just do it.
Why now?
Now. There's not a better time than now. Start now. Why put off a good life till tomorrow that you can start today? Would you do that? Would you put off your holiday of your dreams till 5 years' time when you can have it today? Just do it. Just do it. So that's my piece of advice to people who can't decide, who don't value themselves enough. You're worth it. Just do it. My second, and I think I'm a bit of a freak here, so you have to forgive me, but it's planning. Just plan. Plan for everything. It all becomes so much easier if you plan it. It takes away the need to keep deciding on what you should be doing, what you should be eating, when you should be exercising, when you should be rest. It just takes that decision making away. It takes away, like you were saying earlier, remove the friction.
Yeah.
It just takes it away. It gives you the opportunity, it takes away the opportunity to make unhealthy choices because you've already made the decision when you made the plan. So to me, that just makes so much sense. But I know it's not I know these are not for everybody. You know, we all have different strengths, but it just helps you form that healthy structure you can build everything on that, because this isn't an instant fix. You know, we don't team up with you and your colleagues and then somebody waves a magic wand over us and 4.5 stone go. It's hard work, and you have to be able to repeat this process over and over again. You have to, it doesn't happen by chance, you have to make it happen. So give yourself the best chance, you know? So my second one is celebrate your wins.
Oh, that's huge. I love that one.
Not just the big event, celebrate every damn thing you can. You got up with the first alarm. It's a win. You know, you kept on meal plan for a meal. It's a win. And just keep telling yourself, you went for a walk. It's a win. And the more times you tell your brain you're winning, then the easier it is to do it the next time, because you have a positive thought about that event already there. And I use the inner circle for this. I'm not a social media person. I am all over the inner circle. People must get absolutely sick of me rambling on, but I get so much out of it. There is so much on there that it's so motivational, it's inspirational, it's educational, it's loving, giving, caring, support. It's a network. Use it. Post, post, post. I get so much from it, so much. I give, but I get back far more than I give. You know, I can post something and people might say, that's really made me want to do that. Me hearing that gives me such a positive input that I just want to do more as well. We support each other in that way. And everyone post your failures, post your wins. You know, it doesn't matter. Post, use it. So, and that brings me on to my last point, which is similar to what you've been saying today. And that's, once you get things in your flow and get things under your belt and that, do the mindset work,
100%.
do the behavioral change. You just work on your brain, because the biggest thing I can share is that you can change your brain. You can change how you think. You can change your outlook. You can change how you get happy. You know, you can get a different happy from the happy that you knew. I've got a different happy from comfort eating those digestives in bed. I'm still happy. You know, I'm like a puppy, excited puppy all the time. And you know, so just, you know, you do the mindset, excite yourself into achieving your dreams. It's your brain can change. It only knows what you tell it. So tell it positive things about yourself. Love yourself. Tell yourself you love yourself. Tell yourself you're successful. Tell yourself that those wins were important and you earned them and you're worthy of it. And your dream will play back at you. Your happiness will play back at you. If you tell it negative, the same happens. So don't do the negative, do the positive. And, you know, you can turn everything to a positive. I didn't walk 10,000 steps today becomes, I walked 6,000 steps today. I'm brilliant, you know, and you just keep working on that brain. I mean, it just amazes me that your brain knows nothing unless you say it to it.
This is phenomenal advice, because in many ways happiness is a choice, and 90% of our life is how we react to it. And if we can lay different neural pathways down by how we speak to ourselves, like you just said, we change our perspective, which means that we can choose to be happier by changing our perspective, by doing and saying things to ourselves that make all of it easier and change how we look at a situation. Like, that is such powerful advice and so useful. And with the affirmations, I want to do a small caveat with that, because there's loads of people here who are struggling with these. when you say something positive about yourself, make sure that it's true. So what I mean by that, if you struggle to say with confidence, I love myself, say, I am doing everything in my power to increase how much I love myself. I am currently working on improving how I see myself in the mirror. I am currently getting better and stronger. Say things that you know are true. I am progressing. And then eventually you will say, I love myself with 1000% certainty. And Val, there are so many people here commenting. I mean, I normally would say, could you please respond to all of them? I kind of feel like it's almost an unfair request. But Val,
Of the inner circle, if anybody ever comments on anything I post, I feel compelled to respond. If somebody is kind enough to say that they've found it helpful or useful or compliment me in any way, I'm of an era that you wrote thank you notes when you got a birthday present. So they're my thank you notes that people are helping me, and I can't but help. You know, my comments, they go on forever. So I'm sure I will reply. I'm sure I will. And yeah, it's just an amazing journey, and I've loved it. And I mean, I did it for my grandchildren, and I now have two, and I it's an absolute honor and a privilege to be able to be strong enough and look after them.
what do you
And
do with them now that perhaps you would have struggled to do with them?
I get down on the floor. I get down on the floor. You know, when I started, I couldn't get down on the floor to do the workouts. I changed the order of the workout so that if I was on the floor doing something, I did everything that was on the floor. And then when I got up off the floor, I did all the workouts that were standing. It was that difficult to get up and down. I get up and down now with no hands.
Wow.
Yeah, I set myself these stupid challenges that I become wins.
Of
You know,
course.
eventually they become wins, because as you work towards them, those challenges, the challenges you set, they're, I mean, the one you set last week, I'm like, are you serious? And then
Oh,
somebody said that they'd done it today. It was Romy. She said that she'd done it and that she couldn't breathe for an hour afterwards.
yeah. Absolutely faint-hearted, that one. That was back in when I was in the gym, used to do that one all the time. And if anyone ever says to me, I haven't got time for exercise, I ask them, do you have 4 minutes and 47 seconds? Okay, yes, then I've got the perfect thing for you. ACDC. But there's so many things that I want to say about you, Val, and I don't think I have the vocabulary to do it justice. But one thing I want to share with everyone that Val hasn't mentioned is that a few months back we did a charity parachute jump to raise money for stroke. And Val, you were the first person to say that stepping into an environment with people who perhaps that you didn't know was like way out of your comfort zone. You know, whether it's socializing from people who you haven't met before. And the key thing that I think is huge as to why you've been such a success, Val, and you will continue to be for many, many years, is that it's because you lean into a challenge. You just coined the phrase turn a challenge into a win. You know, you literally lean into it and you step out of your comfort zone, and that takes serious courage. But every time you do it, it becomes a little bit easier because you realize how much better you feel afterwards. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. I mean, since meeting everybody at Salisbury, which was a big thing to me, and I have to say, when I met everyone, it was a bit like meeting all the characters off your favourite soap. Because I knew these people. I'd even seen a lot of them on Mastermind and had chats with them. But they're not, it's like being on the telly. Talking to you now is like talking to somebody on the telly. And when I met you, I said to you, should I curtsy? Because it felt like such an event, you know,
Oh,
to meet that. So it was a fantastic feeling to meet those people. And I hope everybody gets that who's going to Tough Mudder, because it is an amazing feeling to hug these people. They're all friends. Everyone on the inner circle is my friend. And I think you must be worn out with just hugging people when you meet up. But yeah, it's fantastic. And since then, I've joined Facebook groups for hiking. I
Wow.
go on Saturday, I went off and met 4 total strangers outside a railway station and did a 22-kilometer hike,
God.
33,000 steps. I could do 3,000 with walking sticks.
Let's stop there. So you went 3,000 steps of walking sticks to trying to get wheelchair accessible in your house.
Yeah.
33,000 steps.
33,000. I did. It was a 6-hour walk. One of the challenges I set for EPP when I started was to hike all day, to be able to go out all day and hike. Well, I've got up to 6 hours. I've got 4 or 5 more booked in the next month or 2 to build up. Yeah.
Don't underestimate what they can do all the time. And with a bit of perseverance and a drive for stepping out of your comfort zone and learning, you can achieve anything, Val. You already are. And I just want to personally thank you for coming on here. I want to thank everybody, supporting Val, for supporting everybody. I feel like this is a family. I can't wait to meet you again. I'm doing a meetup in Glasgow in Feb because I feel it's been too long since Salisbury, so I want to do something again. But I just want to thank you for coming on because you literally have no clue how many people you've helped tonight.
Well, I hope so, because I have a goal to share with 10 people a day, to share something I've learned from TSD to 10 people a day. And I think most days I do that on the inner circle, but I also have the goal to do it to 2 people outside. So it doesn't matter whether it's the nurse that takes my blood pressure and asks me how I lost my weight, or whether it's the lady I talked to in Asda who was looking on the back of the cereal packet, and I said, what was she looking at? And she said, I'm looking at sugar content. And I said, you're a good mum. She was buying cereal for her kids.
Oh.
Just share what you know, just share, pass it on.
Pass it on, pay it forward. Well, Val, thank you for this.
Thank you.
It made my night. I mean, more than you'll ever know. And I want to thank you and to everybody here who's made TSD what it is. It's only as strong as the people who are in it. And here's to a crack in 2024. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.